And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hand. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me! Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
What's the hurry?
This moment will be frozen in time.
Have a load of this! Let's move!
Quick!
Eat up! This one's well done! An unfortunate fault! Have a... Cook this.
Terra Smash!
Looks like I went too far.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
No excuse for sacrifice.
Dust!
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We kill them!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in Julian Cars! Wow, it's a Madame Ping shockwave! This granny's really strong!
I guess this is it. You're not going anywhere. Cooked food. Disgusting. Looks like I went too far. My duty at an end.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War. So this is what Ganya's like in a fight.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
I guess this isn't good.
Oh, so sorry. Terra Smash!
Just...
This should be violence. My duty.
Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak!
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
I guess this is it. Well, neither can I miscalculated.
Don't get frostbite.
Terra Smash!
This isn't
To dust!
Look at me. Just...
I guess this is it.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
The coaching. This is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell them?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guest.
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea?
What are you...
Huh? Hold on. It's...
Faced with the calamity.
Oh, Paimon gets... just...
It's not just you, which is why we must...
So the Archon warp... So will the power of the...
We've already discussed.
What? Wait...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chi Sing did once and as fate would have it, for what could you more?
So be it. We haven't a moment to spare. Yep.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Glacial Ballista!
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced the god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Miscalculated.
Keep back!
Not breaking a sweat! This should be fun.
Dodge this!
Not breaking a sweat! No slacking off! My duty at an end.
Dust!
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Let's
end this quickly!
No one escapes my sight!
The ancient guard's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't
Were you about to say we can't? Hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in Julian Karst. Wow, it's a Madam Ping shockwave. This granny's really strong.
Terra Smash!
Disgusting.
To dust! Cool it!
It isn't time for a break yet.
Freeze!
My duty.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Wait!
My work. Finished.
Let me amuse myself a little. The systems shine
Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak! In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Look at me. Just once.
To dust! Terra Smash!
Don't get frostbite. You can't run! Looks like I went too far.
Are you here to play with me?
I guess this is it.
Cold-cut bladder. Not breaking a sweat.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for—
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourself?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the... I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as although I am a mere mortal soldier. I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just...
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must... Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place. Fair enough. Away we shall, and
Since we Adepti have consensus, Then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Awesome! Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangshen Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember me. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue to get even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not, until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I...
Oh, Zhang...
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age. I decided that so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark!
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Zhongli always told us a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to... As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head. So Rex Lapis is really... Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious.
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is gods and adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew any. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look. Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also...
3,700 years of contracts burnt and...
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we for...
The long, unending dream of our Archon walk...
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of...
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this...
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You did...
Whoa...
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1.
Rex... Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might...
The cleanup of the premises...
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too, when our...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this! Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for... Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Qinyue Kiosk. Are you sure you can afford...
You're right. I do like the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never... But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without...
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. Yes, the nation has been closed by order of the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision
Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's...
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have...
I have gathered everyone here today to make an important announcement. Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project!
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a...
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items, they are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've...
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically, Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the Jade Chamber to float. Wonder Cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure. Adepti Sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, procuring them will not be a question of if, but of when. I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find, and in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question. You may ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer.
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor's development plan for next year...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless.
Haha, what a coincidence! I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some Plostrite just the other day. So excuse me...
No. We better move quickly, or this opportunity will be snatched away from us.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is a huge deal! Let's get him...
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interested? Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will ask you about how to run a business! Then we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Of course. But how much information I share with you will The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive, remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody...
Ningguang seems super busy. Come on, we'd bet... First we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's something kind of fit...
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might...
No, I don't need it.
Don't be like that. Hey, come on! Don't go! Why don't you stand there after her?
Oh, right, yeah.
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information! Information's just what we need right now! Let's follow them and see what we can find out! They're not here! Let's keep looking.
Well, will you look at... Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some Mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a...
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you. I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over, and nobody get...
I won't...
No more excuses! Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee Pavilion, ordering a table full of food, and only taking a few bites. Then Shinyu Kiosk, then Wanmin Restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a... How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a...
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor. But here we are. Perhaps... yes.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You ought to mind your own...
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with...
No, don't be angry, sir.
Shenhe.
Shenhe?
My name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is... well, Paimon. And...
I've heard about you two before. Thank you for... I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against...
Laws? No. Apparently not.
Really? So how...
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals. Medicinal...
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Boo Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach. Psst. Do you think Shenhe might be an Adeptus? It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get how things work here. If she is an Adeptus, that would explain everything. Where does she fit in with the other Adeptus?
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating!
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather, though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance, after consuming a large quantity...
So, how come you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant had enough, Mora. Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a...
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm is most delicious, but should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development. Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains. That proves it. Paimon knew she was...
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot. We came out to take part in the reboot and now we're probably...
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want. Were you interested in the contest too?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance.
Wow! You really don't... But having an Adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier, so...
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest...
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. We simply need to dispose of everyone who's currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the...
Veto! That is not acceptable!
Really? But I hear that competition is in essence about conflict and one-upmanship.
Look, we want to win this competition. Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils. Let's start at the top of the list.
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So, it's you.
Baizhu? What are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the...
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Far be it from... Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't...
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here, though, you seem to know a lot. Have you...
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven Mountain Treatises. When activated, Sunset Vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds. It's very rare indeed. As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun Commerce Guild would...
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baizhu.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's anything further you need from...
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an...
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been completely caught off guard. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happen to see you.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now. I'll deal with them myself shortly.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild's orders in more detail.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of...
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's
As well?
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece. We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction, and a lot of interested parties have already come to us, and at the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million mora.
500 million?!
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price is greatly inflated, and it's just not worth it.
But without any sunset...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
Who?
Oh, Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, but if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away.
Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Sea Gazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some Sunset Vermilionite. After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in...
That's great! But is it... wouldn't it be a little, you know, disrespectful?
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother him.
Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before.
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go.
There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine. Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long.
Okay, we will be. Thanks, Xing... It should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around. Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there? disappeared. Should we go over and take a look? What? Weren't we at a waterfall just now? How did we suddenly end up here? Oh, so many clouds. It feels like we're high up in the...
I believe this is the abode of that Adeptus. With any luck, the Sunset Vermilionite we're looking for should be in here.
Really? Let Paimon see! Huh? Isn't that the... Look, it's gone and snuck beneath the clouds. And now that Paimon takes a closer look, the rocks and trees here don't seem complete. Oh, could there be something below the clouds?
These are not real clouds. They are the product of an Adepti art used for spatial... If we want to go down, we must first destroy the mechanism that is maintaining the Adepti art.
All right, then let's do it.
I sense the presence of monsters in this place. I don't know where they are hiding, so we'd better be careful. Take your true form! Take your true form!
Terra Smash!
My will embodied! My will embodied! It appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this? By ordinance divine! Take your true form! The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance.
Quake! Terra Smash! Yeah!
Whoa! We're gonna fall! Is everyone okay? Look! Vasilia's disappeared beneath the clouds again!
It looks like we need to go further down. But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first.
Do your master's bidding! Oh!
My will embodied!
Yeah! Keep back!
No escape!
Oh, so sorry. Terra Smash! Yeah! To dust!
By ordinance divine! Transfiguration!
gonna fall. This time, we're really gonna fall. Ah! Luckily, there is a pool of water at the bottom. Otherwise, that could have ended very differently. Hey! That Sealy's on the move again. Let's catch up with it. Huh. Something looks different about this stone wall. Let's take a closer look.
Transfiguration! You will regret this!
This moment will be frozen in time.
Take your true form! Cryo incarnate! My will embodied! Take your true form!
Get back!
My will embodied!
No one escapes my sights!
Cool it! Freeze! Yeah! Yeah!
Take your true form!
Terra Smash!
Do your master's bidding!
Quake! Yeah.
embodied! Transfiguration!
Don't get frostbite. Terra Smash!
My will embodied! Take your true form! Take your true form! Cryo Incarnate!
I taste blood.
Take your true form!
Look, over there! Could that be the Sunset Vermilionite? Is this it? Is this the Sunset Vermilionite? It's so huge! That's true, but then again...
Plaustrite doesn't float until it's activated. It may look different from most ordinary stones, but it weighs around the same amount. Only after being activated does Plaustrite reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal realm and ascending up into the heavens.
Wow, Shenhe. You seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. The moment she has some time to spare, she'll come straight for me and start telling story after story. I don't care for her stories most of the time. I certainly didn't expect them to ever come in handy like this.
Hold on a sec. Paimon, if we activate it here, there's no way we'll be able to get it back to the site, right? Heck, we'll be dragged up into the sky too! But if we don't activate it, how else are we gonna lift it? This rock must weigh what?
Don't worry. I can handle the weight quite easily.
Are you sure?
Please don't worry. I'm well aware that a Plaustrite sample this large must be highly valuable. I will be gentle with it and make sure it does not get damaged. My safety.
That's right! Paimon's sure you can handle it and everything, but if you gotta be extra careful when lifting heavy objects. It's just common sense.
Is it now? I'll go on ahead with the Plaustrite. Let's meet at the building site later.
able to carry that huge rock all by herself. Adepti super strength much? We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building site.
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's gotta be one of those Adepti, surely.
Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming year I may...
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. Congratulations. I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Shenhua! And Ningguang's little helper!
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
Okay then, Miss Secretary. What do you think of the rock we found? Pretty amazing, right?
In truth, it is the finest piece of plostrite we have received so far. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of construction. As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations. Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the buildings.
Shenhua! Just now on the way over, pretty much everyone...
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold their head up high and break into a big smile.
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an Adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart.
Yeah, because that's how Adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and reclusive, too.
But I am not...
Shenhua?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right? But...
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit and...
You can't do that. It's dangerous. When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice, comfy bed.
Okay. If you...
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Hi there. Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have... Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers, either. So, business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. The other room is just through the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay. Please excuse me, I'll leave you to it.
Shenhe, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside and... Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice whenever guests walk in with a... Let's buy one for Shenhe too. She can have it as a midnight snack. Or save it for breakfast tomorrow.
All right. I will head. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door. Mm-hmm. See.
Hey! Isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhe too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shenhe to some degree.
Cool! So, what's her Adeptus name anyway? Calling her Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by...
Her Adeptus name. Why, pray tell, would Shenhe...
Don't all Adeptus...
On this latter point, you are correct.
Oh, right. What? You knew already? So is Paimon the only one who didn't know?
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from all...
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are... extremely direct.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster.
That sounds so...
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no intention.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shenhe may have still emerged the victor of the confrontation.
against the wrath of...
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Seeing that she was homeless, one decided to adopt her. Indeed. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses, that her soul must be bound with red ropes. The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive. Perhaps the red ropes are so powerful that they have It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion. Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, one is most curious to observe how she will respond. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching. Be sure to get ample rest.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus. Hey, so, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it?
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, Master is...
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had to...
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. For this, I am very grateful.
To be fair, we've met our fair share pair of real Adepti. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey! People Paimon doesn't...
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch. Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Vatuian Osile, right? Oh, sure enough, you're pleased to meet you. I'm Beto, captain of the Crux.
Beto? Are you here to join the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd...
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of...
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most...
Greetings.
These 2 are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is... sorry.
Shenhua.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, I guess all of us... Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that to be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for...
Wow! So it looks like the 3 of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us.
Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
I think I see where... The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all three of us managed to get our hands on it. The two remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other two can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you have?
Precisely.
Huh.
Okay then. Alright, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, by the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yun?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her.
Ooh, what's the opera called?
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something full?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a...
Of course I have. Sorry.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be... Sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss... So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ning. The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint... Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about...
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the Divine Damsel of Devastation also takes place... I hear the view there is quite spectacular.
a favorite destination of the Adepti, and perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there. I came to Mount Tianeng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool! A hero story?
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Ugh. Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its...
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came...
No! Don't do it!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into... Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never... And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was... not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the Divine Damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah! There should be enough Star Splinter iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin. Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium, but I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this...
The remains of a god, an abandoned village, Mount Tianheng. Does this mean that the true story of the Divine Damsel of Devastation happened right here? The time frame certainly matches, so it seems we're in the right area. What's this? So, Shenhe is the Divine Damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an Adeptus, and she is about... So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should... According to this text, the Divine Damsel from the opera was actually the... And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that gap. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few...
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Is this an answer from this world?
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Subrosium! Let's go back and tell Shenhua the news!
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or...
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhua, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhua, it brings me some solace knowing that I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhua, look! This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake!
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of...
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me...
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe... In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for...
Shenhua! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go! We can't let someone else beat us to it! report in. Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
Oh, goodness.
So,
This is some top quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end product out of these. Guess now it's my time to shine.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to...
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next. But where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got...
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about making... When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her. Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. There's so much basic knowledge that I lack. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way, I'm very glad to...
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship.
Thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's, I can assure...
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead of us.
I'll keep this close. Is this an answer from this world? A reward on the road.
Gotta smile for the fans.
Ningguang's little secretary! We found all the materials!
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. Okay, the Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems that we found our winners. I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the...
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the Plustrate yet!
I can't believe...
So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting for you.
Huh? Where's Beidou? She was right here!
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come with me for now.
Alright then, guess we'll head on up to the Jade Chamber first. This has been a long time coming. The last time we went up to the Jade Chamber...
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the... Thank you all for your work. Now it is...
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for
That's right. Lady Ningguang,
I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yoon's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first... The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please.
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good...
A traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when the time comes.
You're next. What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your sister's whereabouts. Please, don't waste your question on this matter.
Wow, you're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well, guess Paimon will...
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, an instinct for what is a good opportunity. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say that it will work for you.
Wow, Paimon hadn't even asked the question.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you handsomely for it. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will pay you at the highest rate.
Great! So next time we run out of Moro, we just need to come to Ningguang? No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to add.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you...
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue?
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue.
Huh. A sense of belonging?
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours.
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet. I'm a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou! It's your turn! Do you have a question for
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I met Ningguang. Don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beidou? Ningguang? What are you...
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better... When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence! Right on cue. The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who is that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming!
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
What are you doing here?
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk!
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
We'll help too!
Transfiguration! My will embodied! In your dreams!
to dust!
Take your true form! Transfiguration!
I kill you! Keep back!
Transfiguration! My will embodied! Do your master's bidding!
This moment will be frozen in time. Terra Smash!
My will embodied!
Not so hard! You'll pay for that! No escape!
My will embodied! Take your true form!
Wipe them out! Take your true form! Take your true form! My time has come.
Keep back! Get free! Yeah!
Terra Smash! She's getting away! Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. I'm just a little exhausted. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance...
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been... If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong ballista, and find oneself compelled. You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be—
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the— Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different—
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please— In fact, one has many fond memories.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular—
No!